All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good Southsea news for you today. Some brown sugary, molassesy, oniony, tomatoey, spicy, drizzly sauce. So the first article we have is that Kraken is mentioned in SEC investigation as Calvin Ayre plans release of market manipulation documents, which I don't even know if anybody knows how to pronounce that guy's last name. Probably a lot of people, but not me. So the Bitcoin Cash split into two competing blockchains has caused tremors across the entire market, and now one of the proponents of the SV version, Calvin Ayre, is days away from releasing documents in which he claims to hold evidence of market manipulation for some of the major backers of Bitcoin Cash ABC. He says, "I will release the private documents I've received next week at the conference once they become public." So Amory, Roger, Jihan, Jess Powell, Kraken, and others are named. Their life is going to get more exciting, market manipulation and more. So far, there aren't any details as to what type of investigation has been undertaken. The SEC has looked at the activity of Kraken in the past, but the European-based exchange continues to function. Kraken is one of the exchanges instrumental for selling assets for fiat. The market is also known for direct trading of Tether for US dollars. So regarding the Bitcoin Cash split, the exchanges independently decided on supporting the respective branch chains, and initially there was a lack of clarity as to which one would survive. Some markets immediately sided with ABC, as in the case of OKX. So others remained agnostic for a while, but moved on to side with ABC while putting in special provisions for SV. The immediate measure was to require more confirmations for any SV transaction. While this decision is up to the discretion of exchanges, the hostile attitude of the Revival project seemed to hold exchanges responsible for bashing the SV version. Recently, the Bitpanda service opened deposits for ABC, while in effect offering no support for SV. The two versions of Bitcoin Cash have split off completely, and currently the mining picture shows the hash rate for both chains is declining. In the past day, SV rate is slightly higher. The side supporting the Big Blocks version proposed by Craig Wright and built by nChain still believe the project is viable and over time would displace Bitcoin Cash. So after the fork and ticker reorganization, the price of Bitcoin Cash fell under $200 on continued weakness, inheriting the trading of ABC. The original asset was taken down significantly. Bitcoin Cash also caused losses through OKX future liquidations. So neither the author nor the publication assumes any responsibility for these investments. So, oh my God, I probably should have read that part. That's not even it. That's nothing to do with nothing. But either way, so this whole drama here is starting to get pretty bad. So there's supposed to be some documents showing market manipulation. It looks like a lot of the exchanges were, taking sides before the split even ended, before this whole hash war even ended, and they were just already taking sides. So hopefully there could be some light shined on that, supposedly on Kraken as well, and. So the idea with the Bitcoin Cash split is that ABC took the Bitcoin Cash ticker, and ABC was actually worth less than Bitcoin Cash. So when all of your Bitcoin Cash essentially became Bitcoin ABC, you lost money. It was $100 less than what Bitcoin Cash was previously. So there's $100 down, and now SV is worth very little as well. So overall, between after the fork, before the fork, everything, the Bitcoin Cash was worth well over 50% more than what it is now. Even with both of the forks combined, was worth 50% more than it is now. So very interesting that it was maybe worth twice as much, actually, about 100% more. And now, after the fork, everything is worth much less. And that's not even counting the market going down, because ABC took the BCH ticker, and it was worth $100 less to begin with. So another one is that Coinbase faces a new lawsuit over the alleged Bitcoin Cash insider trading again. So American cryptocurrency market Coinbase has been again accused of Bitcoin Cash insider trading by several of its clients, according to a lawsuit from Tuesday. The new allegations are made by 7 plaintiffs, including Jeffrey Burke, which is a San Francisco citizen who filed similar charges against the company earlier this year, which I actually put in the news, and he had lost that case. So a Californian judge dismissed Burke's accusations last month as he was unable to prove the scope or content of Coinbase's duty. In the new filing, Burke and counterparts are claiming that the trading venue had breached its own listing rules, which allowed people from Coinbase staff to make substantial trading profits. The plaintiffs are explaining that Coinbase intentionally caused the extreme Bitcoin Cash spike's sudden crash by listing Bitcoin Cash without enough preparation time. And they did. So they were supposed to come out with this on a certain date, Bitcoin Cash. This was last year. And it actually was ninja added like 7 or 10 days, something like that, before it was supposed to get added. And they didn't even announce it, really. They were just like, oh, it's on there now. Whoop. Just magically put it on there when it was supposed to be not for like 7 days. So it was really weird. And just before that, Bitcoin Cash really started to spike super high just before they had put it on there. So it was really interesting, and a lot of people claimed that they were insider trading and that a lot of people were buying it previously before it was put on. So in December 2017, the exchanges announced support for Bitcoin Cash and let people who cashed into Bitcoin to benefit from a Bitcoin Cash airdrop. And according to Burke, insiders had prior information and had been able to take Bitcoin Cash trading positions before official listing. Then shortly after adding the coin to its roster, Coinbase allegedly shut down selling services to Bitcoin Cash's abnormal price jump and allowed only buying, which benefited the people with prepared positions. So I remember that I actually remember this. And they couldn't, you couldn't actually sell it. So you could only buy it. So the price of Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase, it's not actually shown anymore on CoinMarketCap or even on Coinbase. But I remember Bitcoin Cash getting up to $9,000 temporarily until they released the selling of it, which it just immediately dumped. So a lot of people bought this in the thousands of dollars when Bitcoin Cash first came out. And it was only like that for maybe a day, maybe a few hours or something like that. I can't remember the exact timeline, but nobody could sell it. So everybody was just buying it, and it was just piling up. And it was pretty crazy. And a lot of people think it was insider trading and essentially the staff buying it previously before anybody else could. The sudden launch was effectively part of an attack by Coinbase and CEO Brian Armstrong to depress the price of Bitcoin and to inflate the price of Bitcoin Cash to encourage more transactions and greater profitability for Coinbase, the new lawsuit reads. So yet another lawsuit for Coinbase there. I had imagined that they're actually probably going to lose that lawsuit because you need pretty good evidence if you're going to, claim that somebody was insider trading. You need like the full outright proof that they were doing that. And I think Coinbase covered their tracks pretty well, and it was in the past, and there isn't a lot of documentation on it. They just simply added a coin well before their timeline that they're actually going to add it. But who knows? We'll have to see. Get rid of the, drain the swamp, if you will. So next article is Bitcoin is down, but it's only the 4th biggest bubble in history. So anyone remember the great Bitcoin bubble of 2011? Before my time too, so the article says, but there was one, and another one in 2013, and yet another one at the end of 2013. So Bitcoin maximalists have been taking to counter the negativity of the end is knee brigade. So you see, after looking at these charts, it doesn't everything suddenly seems so much better. So I'm not really going to read this article entirely. It's pretty short anyway, but I really wanted to show you guys this chart. And it's just Bitcoin crashes again. So it's the date here is from in 2011. We've seen it get as high as $31, and it went to $2. Now, that's not a big difference in a lot of people's eyes. It's what, like $29 difference, but that's a 94% decrease in price. Now, going from 20,000 to what we're at now at about 4,000 some odd dollars is the highest in terms of its actual like value. Because the low right now, so that's a $15,000 drop. So it is bigger, but not its percentage decrease. So in 2013, there was another dump. It got all the way up to $259, and it dumped to $45, which is an 83% decrease. And at the end of 2013, there was a massive bear run that went all the way into 2015, essentially. So we got as high as $1,141, and it dipped to $152, an 87% decrease. So in 2017 here, we have $19,891 to the current low, or at least the recent low of $4,050, which is an 80% decrease. So technically, this is one of only the fourth biggest crash of Bitcoin. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a warm feeling. And only an 80% decrease, guys. Hopefully that gives you a nice warm feeling. Sit by your hearth at home, start a nice fire, have some warm milk and cookies, and just be so happy that it's only 80% and not a 94% decrease. Because if it was a 94% decrease, we would see Bitcoin to, $1,000 or so, something like that, but $1,500 or something. So not quite. Moving on. So Google Trends Bitcoin interest hit 6-month high. So this is basically Google Trends and Google searches of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin was at 20,000, it was pretty much at its all-time high in terms of Google Trends. So really the price of Bitcoin equals Google searches, in a sense. So the higher that Bitcoin goes in price, the more people are Googling it, the more people are trying to learn about it, the more people are looking it up, and exchanges and this, that, and the other thing, how to buy, how to sell, how to mine. And those are all good things because that just gets everybody into crypto. However, Bitcoin trends are at an all-time, at least at a 6-month high, at this $4,000 level. So everybody's extremely interested in what is going to happen to Bitcoin next, and that could be a good thing. The more people that are searching, the more people that are into Bitcoin, of course, the better. So you know what they say, any publicity is good publicity. The latest data from Google Trends confirms the uptick in curiosity about Bitcoin after it dropped 30% under circumstances commentators have yet to fully understand. Well, let me just go ahead and say the expiration of CBOE futures on the 14th of November, which was the exact date that it crashed, interestingly enough, and the Bitcoin Cash fork wars of major whales on either side selling Bitcoin and buying hash power and stopping Bitcoin hash power at the same time and putting it all into Bitcoin Cash so that their fork could be the winner. So this is kind of a weird situation, you know, when I say that, it's just like, who really won that exactly? Nobody did. Literally, nobody did. Bitcoin Cash is now worth way less than what it used to be. And I'm not even talking about, again, I'm not even talking about just the market decline here. It was literally worth $100 after the decline, less. And SV is worth just about nothing. So what was the point of it all? I have no idea. Everybody came out a loser on that one. Nobody crossed the finish line. So the proportion of searches for Bitcoin is now higher than during any weekly period since April 8th, at which time its price began a major surge from 7,000 to 10,000. So interest in some related terms such as Bitcoin is dead and HODL was much more apparent, reaching its highest since February this year, when the price was trending down from all-time highs of 20,000. And while mainstream media publications often pick up on price decreases as an indicator of the risk involved in Bitcoin investment, the impact of price movements on broader public awareness contributes to the opinion held by many commentators that any publicity is good publicity. Right. We're going way down in price. This is a good thing, guys. But I suppose I'll give it to him. As BTC has historically correlated with search interest, a reversal of the current bull market is high on the agenda for traders. That reversal had been tipped to occur in December with the launch of the first regulated ecosystem for cryptocurrency backed, when executives announced that they would delay the launch from December 12th to January 24th, which I mentioned in a previous video. Prices had already begun to tumble, and forecasts of a reversal got pushed back a little bit. Still could be a small bull run in December, but it's looking more and more unlikely as time goes on. So I was really, confident, really positive, I suppose, throughout this entire year of 2018 that at the end of the year, November, December, there's going to be a bull run, just about like there is every year with crypto in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a 2-week bull run or a few-month bull run, at the end of the year. But it's just not looking so good at this point in time. But when Banked comes out January 24th, perhaps that will give a rise to Bitcoin, although at the same time, it's the institutionalization of Bitcoin along with CBOE futures and things like that, which I'm just not really a big fan of. Sure, it might increase the price, but what is going to be, there are consequences to that, to the institutionalization of your cryptocurrency, which was meant to be not institutionalized. I'm sure if you want to go this route, if you want to go this, martyr route of Satoshi and making this cryptocurrency so that we could get away from the fiat system, we could get away from the banks that were crashing the market in 2008, and that's why Bitcoin was made. And yet, 10 years later, we see the institutionalization of Bitcoin, which just blows my mind. So if anybody's truly excited about backed futures and institutionalization of Bitcoin, I don't know why. I don't really get it. I think it's a sort of a greedy thing. It's a short-term greedy situation where people are like, yeah, the institutionalization is coming and it's going to raise the price of my Bitcoin. Awesome, I'm going to have more money. Well, that's great. That is good. But at what cost is that going to happen? Because these people, I mean, we're talking these institutions, have millions, potentially billions of dollars. Like if Wall Street comes into Bitcoin particularly, we're going to see a major problem. Wall Street could buy all of the Bitcoin that you see on every exchange like today. Like they could just sit there and market buy, just boop, 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 and spend, billions of dollars buying Bitcoin and just buying it all. Now that wouldn't make sense to buy all of it, because then nobody else would have it and it would be kind of useless at that point. But you get what I'm saying. Like, they have the money to do that, and they're going to take your Bitcoin and then raise the price super, super high, and you're going to sell it at a good price, sure, but trust me, they're going to sell it at a way better price, right? They're going to manipulate it to a way higher price or a way lower price, and you're not going to win. You're not going to win against the Wall Street traders, brokers with billions of dollars backing them. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so negative, but the institutionalization of Bitcoin is the antithesis of Bitcoin itself. It makes no sense. At the press time, Bitcoin held at 4,000, while few professional traders were eyeing a true flip to bullish territory in the midterm. So even the most optimistic regular voices, such as Galaxy Digital founder Mike Novogratz and Fundstrat Global Advisors Tom Lee, and me, MrSotko, why am I not in this article? Oh my God. A return to form for Bitcoin depends on institutional investors getting a taste for available products. Without backed or its slated competitors, the status quo remains. Again, everybody's excited. These big guys at Fundstrat, Global Advisors, Tom Lee, are waiting for institutional investors. Of course they are, because they are institutional investors, basically. So of course they are. It just makes no sense. So we started Bitcoin. If you take a look at the long-term price of Bitcoin, you'll see that it never really got more than $1,000. A couple times, sure, it got about $1,100 throughout history, and then dumped. As you can see, I mean, you can just go through, and for a long time, Bitcoin was at $1,000 or less. And it wasn't until 2017, when 2017 came along here, you can see if you just go back a little bit, about, I don't know, I'd say March or so, we can see that it really stayed over 1,000 and always has been over 1,000 ever since. We're actually back to the price that we were maybe, in October of last year. So we essentially erased this whole bull run. This whole bull run was caused by hype, it was caused by Tether, it was caused by YouTubers with referral links to BitConnect and Genesis mining, which caused people to have to go out and buy Bitcoin, to mine the Bitcoin, to go to buy Bitcoin to get BitConnect. So it was a huge hype fest all of 2017, and ever since, it's been going right back down to where it probably should have been before that. But the idea is, where should it be at? Where is the actual price of Bitcoin? Is it really just at $1,000? Was it always meant to be at about $1,000? Because I think 2017 brought a lot of hype that never lasted. I mean, BitConnect didn't last. Genesis mining and cloud mining services that people were really into, those are just a joke in itself. There was a lot of ICO after ICO after ICO that people had to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum to get their ICOs. So 2017 was a weird year, and 2018 was a very lame duck year. Nothing happened in 2018. I can't even give you guys any kind of huge, really things that happened in 2018. As you can see, it was just a constant decline the whole year, with just a few little bumps here and there. And nothing really insane came out. No new BitConnects. Not that I want a BitConnect, but there's no new hypey things that came out. So we'll have to see how 2019 treats us, and Oh, well, I'll be there with you guys the whole time, reporting along the way. But one announcement before I head out of here, because that's all I got for you guys today, is Socko Fest, December 1st. It's going to be awesome. So about noon Arizona time, I'm going to begin on the 1st. And then other days after that, we'll have to see. I'll have to decide what time. I'd like to start earlier than that too. So I'm going to be live streaming, I'm going to be gaming, I'm going to be talking about crypto, the community's going to be there, all kinds of celebrities are going to be there. It's going to be amazing. I mean, maybe not celebrities. Who knows? Who knows? They might be there. We got them all on the VIP list if they want to show up. So there is a Twitch link in the description of the video. It's the second to the last link in the description. If you click on that, follow me, you'll get notifications of when I go live. And come say hey. Come talk about crypto. Come talk about politics. Whatever you want. Just come talk about something. Come hang out. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.